Hey y'all, it's Megan and Andy. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. Come spend the evening with us. We've actually both been at work today.
Just got home.
And it's been a pretty busy day, but there's still yet work to be done.
And a very limited amount of sunshine left in the sky.
Tis the time of year, isn't it? Always fighting daylight. You'll probably hear us say that the rest of the winter. We're fighting daylight.
It don't matter how early you get in from work. It seems like you can't get in early enough to beat the dark.
No, not this time of year.
No, not this time of year.
But I'm going to bring y'all along, show y'all what I'm having for supper tonight. I'm going to cook, well, I'm trying to clean out my freezer of the pork because we all know it's getting real close to hog killing time. Yep. So, sweet roll, whole sweet roll, but okay. I'm going to do a one pan. I'm going to put potatoes in there around it.
Oh, that'll be good.
I thought so. But I'm going to go get everything fed, I reckon.
All right. Well, I got to get at it because...
Yeah,
it's going to get dark quick.
Running out of daylight.
And I don't know how, this ain't going to take long.
What does John Way say? We're wasting daylight.
We're wasting daylight. That's for sure.
What little bit we've got.
What little bit. We can sit right here and probably watch it go down behind that mountain.
Probably, yeah.
Quick.
Did you feed them calves yesterday?
No.
Okay.
I did not. But your other cows have hay. I didn't feed them yesterday. I just gave them the hay bale.
Okay. No wonder they were staring me down this morning. They're like,
staring you down right now.
I know. I see it. I can feel it. I can feel it burning through me from way down there.
I know.
Look, Ty's looking at me. The cows.
Everybody's waiting there like, why ain't we fed yet?
Come now. All right. Get at it.
So we ended up having to get a little bit more gravel delivered yesterday evening, and by the time the guy brought the last load, it was just too dark for me to try to go down there and spread it with the tractor. And I will say, I don't have a whole lot of spreading to do because the guy that brings our gravel is very good with a dump truck. But I do got a little bit because there's one spot that he couldn't get into with his truck. I'm going to take it and pull it around a curve. I'll show you when we get down there. But anyways, I'm going to tell y'all what, it's funny. Gravel will sink out of sight in a hurry when you put it on fresh ground. Well, I've got the box blade hooked to this tractor right here already. I need to put some fuel in it real quick, and we'll go get at it. Oh, man, there's a corn stubble stuck under here. I'm so low on fuel it don't even register on the gauge. I run the hot wires from my fuel pump with little alligator clips, just clip them to the battery on my truck instead of having something hardwired back there to the tank. That makes life easier sometimes because that tank don't always stay on this truck. Sometimes it's on my other truck over here. But I do not keep much fuel in this tractor here because I got a pretty bad fuel leak that I got to fix this winter. It's down there on the injection pump. I just hadn't had time to pull all that apart and fix it. So instead, I just don't keep a lot of fuel in it. Because it's a bad leak. A very bad leak. I do cut the fuel off so it don't leak while I left the tractor sitting. And I got another problem. I keep blowing the fuse that goes to this instrument panel right here. There comes Jacob. Get out of his way. but I keep blowing this fuse that goes to this instrument panel, and every time I think I got it fixed, it blows again. Actually, I fixed it yesterday evening, and I thought I really had it fixed that time. There he goes. He's the one I need to hook a box straight to and let him get to work down here. Give him a reason to ride that tractor around. But yeah, I think I've got a wire still shorting out back there. I mean, these things are super simple, so it can't be much. I guess I just ain't found the right short yet.
Alright, so what we're having tonight is what we call the sweet roll of the pig. Now, I have been corrected many times. This is, in fact, I guess the proper name is the tenderloin. This is not what I call the tenderloin, but that is the proper name. But to me, that is a sweet roll. Best way to keep a sweet roll, in my opinion, is whole. They seem to just keep better. Now I've got some bacon grease heating up in my pan over here. We're going to put plenty of salt on that. Pepper. Now this complete seasoning, I find this in the Hispanic section at our local grocery store. I really like it on pork. I like the flavor of it on pork. Kids like the flavor of it. We all like flavor. It's not spicy. It just gives it a good taste. So I've got that dried off and some seasoning on there. I'm going to give it a good sear, and we're going to finish it in the oven. So while that is searing, I got to get these potatoes in this pan. So I'm going to heat up that pan and melt some butter. Now, one thing when you're cooking, I think people are intimidated by seasoning. Some people, I ain't saying everybody, some people are intimidated by seasoning their food. Let me tell you something. You can over season it, but do it to your taste, and don't be scared of it. Do it. Throw that seasoning to it, and if it's too much, you'll know, and you just won't do it next time.
So I'm going to show you what I need to get done here. I need to drag this pile, and then I'm probably going to have to drag some off of the road and try to get some up to this curve right here. I'm not much worried about the curve because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. In that curve right there with the kids going around it on the four-wheelers, the gravel's probably going to get slung out of it. I'm not worried about that curve. I did my share of that when I was a kid, but we won't talk about that. I am going to have to tell Jacob, though, I'm fixing to work down here. Little fella, he's just anxious to ride that tractor all the time. I'm going to be scraping this gravel, so you're going to have to find somewhere else to ride.
This will be my last round anyway.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to scrape it out, and then you can ride on it all you want because I want you to pack it down.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do here.
Well, I'm fixing to mess it all up. The gravel is very thick from here all the way out to right in there where you see it changes color. So some of that I'm going to pull in this direction and pull it on around that curve too. It's a good thing it's thick because, well, this area right here is an extremely hard soil. I don't think it's going to sink up that much here. The only reason I wanted gravel on this was because we found out after it rained a couple times, that very hard packed red clay got slick. It was so slick you couldn't even walk on it, but then the next day it'd be fine. So I don't need much of a coating over this, and to be honest, all of this is going to get dressed up with gravel again once the barn is underway. So the main concern was this road. From about where it goes into the woods right there, on around that curve out there by the enclosed trailer, is some really soft soil. So I want to make sure I leave that thick gravel out there. I don't want to touch it up. I mean, I don't want to drag no gravel off of that. I am, however, going to kind of touch it up. But anyways, she's sinking low in the sky, so I got to quit running my mouth and get to doing something.
Got my oven preheated to 400 degrees. Got a nice crust on both sides of my sweet roll here. I've melted a little butter with some garlic powder over in this pan here. And I've cut up some fingerling potatoes, and I'm just going to put those on either side of my sweet roll here. I'm going to kind of stir them around and get some of that butter on them. On the bottom side there. I want to make sure my potatoes are kind of in a single layer and it's not a whole bunch of them piled on top of each other. They'll just get done better if I do them that way. There we go. And I'm going to sprinkle those potatoes with a little dried parsley. So a few more pats of butter just on top of everything here, just because, well, y'all know me, and everything's better with plenty of butter. It will take your food to the next level, or your jeans to the next size. That was a dumb joke, wasn't it? Alright, this is going in the oven. We'll check it in around 25 minutes and see if it looks done. These sweet rolls are small. They don't take too terribly long to get done.
That don't look like a lot, and it ain't a lot, but that's all I want on that right there. Just enough rock to cover up that little bit of red dirt, and that's not even for the vehicles. That's because we walk through here all the time, and I want that to sink up in there in that red dirt and make it where it's not as slick. I don't even care if it's muddy when we come driving through here on anything. And like I said, I have a feeling there'll be a lot more gravel brought in here anyway, so this is good in this corner right here. So what I'm going to do, instead of dragging gravel this way, since the softest spots are out there, I'm going to be dragging gravel that way, which I'm not really dragging a lot. I'm just touching it up and moving enough that it fills in the low spots and knocks down the high spots. That's all I'm doing. I have to say that I didn't need to touch any of this. I just wanted to. The only spot I needed to touch was that pile out there, but that was what I'm doing right now. could have been left alone. However, this will knock down what little bit of humps there is in there. Smooth it all out real nice and fill in the edges. That's the main thing, is filling in them edges, right in the edge of the road. But that old fella that brings our gravel, he does a great job with a dump truck. You can do it. You got room. I feel like everybody's rushed around here this evening trying to beat daylight. She was out there just now running across the pasture with that feed bucket. Says she's on a time crunch. What we ended up doing was getting 2 more loads brought in. This is crush and run. And we're basically just trying to establish a base on this road here. In this area that I'm in right now is so soft, I have a feeling we're going to be fighting this for a long time.
I always get so proficient with my time when I'm racing against the oven. Right now I'm racing time. I got a timer set on my phone. But I try to make the best of my time. I'm not going to sit there, especially after a busy day like today when there's not a lot of time, twiddle my thumbs and wait on supper to get done. We gotta be proficient sometimes.
I believe I am happy with this. I might need to touch up just right here just a little bit, and I do wish that I had enough gravel to cover like a tire width right there on that red dirt, but I don't. I actually have enough gravel down in here where it's so much thicker, but I don't want to pull it off of this soft spot. This will work for now, and until something else changes. So right through here, it worked perfect. I had a low spot right in there, right there. I had enough gravel to pull in there, and then along this edge was really soft, and I don't know if y'all can tell it or not, but I've got probably 5 inches of gravel right there through there, and then up here it's a little less than that. So once this is packed in, this is going to be nice. Get a good shower of rain on it, wash that rock off, and I'll probably have to dress it up again eventually with the box blade. But for now, I'm loving it. Up through yonder, and we went about halfway with this last time of gravel here. From, let's see, right about in there up, we didn't add no gravel. That's some really hard packed dirt through there. It's a good road, a good solid road up in there, and it don't even need no more rock on it. It's in good shape. However, this down here had never had rock on it ever, and we had to add some field dirt in here to build this road up after they got done running the dump trucks in and out of this road, because the dump trucks packed it down so much. So in turn, like I said, I have a feeling that this area right here will probably give us some trouble in the future and probably have to have more rock on it, and that's just the nature of trying to keep gravel on a driveway. It seems like you're always having to add rock. But anyways, that's it. That's all I needed to do. The main thing was getting that pile of gravel out there spread out so we could start using this road again. It wasn't in the way. Now, figure while I'm down here working around the building spot, I might as well give y'all a quick update on the building. Our barn is in motion. We're hoping if the weather cooperates around the 1st of December, they'll come and pour the footers. And the way this company does it, they put the post on top of a concrete footer, which I like because this is field dirt. And even though it's packed good, I just feel like having that big footer in the ground will be a lot more firm than having, say, like sticking a post in the ground inside of this field dirt. If this wasn't field dirt and was just regular old soil out here that had always been here, I'd probably be wanting to put a post in the ground. But I like the fact that they do the concrete footers and then set the post on that. I feel like it'll be a lot more stable. But anyways, like I said, the footers are hopefully going to get poured right around the beginning of December, weather permitting. And then after that, I think he said it would probably be a few days, maybe a week. That's all depended on the weather. And they'd be back to put the post up. Once the footers are in the ground, I think they said they can have this barn built in a day, which is kind of mind-blowing, but, you know, them boys, they get her done. So I'm excited to see it. I cannot wait. Like, me and Megan both are just ecstatic. Like, we cannot wait to see this barn built. But once it's built, I got my work cut out for me. I'm going to have to get the thing boxed in. That's going to be a project this winter to work on.
Pigs! Pig. They're not coming today. There they come. I have to beat their feed down in this automatic pig feeder. Just keeps those troughs down there more full, because where this feed's kind of thin, it falls down. And then also where the pigs have gotten bigger, This only has 2 holes, so morning and evening. I also put them some over in a trough too, so everybody got room to eat. They'll still fight over it, but that's just what pigs do. Now, with not a minute to spare, I've got to run up there and check our sweet roll. But the best part about being out and about this late, look at that sunset. I'm gonna tell y'all, these fall sunsets, this time of year, man, they don't ever get old. They don't ever get old. And Andy, he's so good to me. He trimmed up my limbs on my tree there because it was blocking my view from the porch and the kitchen window. I've got a kitchen window that I can look out and see that right there, but the limbs had gotten so long, so big, they were blocking my view, and he cut them for me the other day. So that way I can see it even when I'm inside. All right, I gotta check this sweet roll. I'm gonna throw some canned corn in a pot to go with it and run back out here and feed the horses while our sweet roll is resting.
I thought it might not be a bad idea to show how I've got my box blades set up here, because, you know, not everybody knows how to spread gravel with a box blade. Go ahead and wipe that off. Alright, so obviously it's sitting level this way, so I've got my lift arms where they're level, not cocked one way or the other. But this is the important adjustment when spreading gravel, especially when spreading fresh gravel. I've got that top link up there adjusted to where it's longer, and that in turn sets this box blade that way just a little bit. And if we were sitting on hard ground, you could tell that that blade right there is kicked up off the ground about that much. So it's not really cutting anything, it's not cutting into the dirt, it's just spreading. If I had the box blade tilted that way with that top link shrunk in, then it would put that inside blade on the ground, and at that point I would be cutting a lot more material off than I wanted to, and it'd be kind of hard to control because the box blade would be trying to dig down into the gravel, and I don't want that. I just want to smooth it. I don't want to cut it. If you were out here working in dirt or maybe working on a hard packed driveway, you could adjust it that way in order to really move some material. But like I said, I'm not out here trying to move material. I'm just trying to spread it and smooth everything up. And a lot of times I'll test it by letting my lift down, pull up just a little bit and see how much gravel I start moving, and then, you know, look at what's behind me here and just kind of adjust it from there, because sometimes you do have to lengthen the top link or you have to shorten it to make your fine-tune adjustments. But anyways, that's how I do it. It's pretty simple. I do have a land plane that I know most people prefer to spread gravel with a land plane. However, I don't. I prefer my box blade. I feel like I can do just as much with a box blade as somebody with a land plane. So that's my tool of choice when it comes to working gravel.
Corn, a little jar of corn. Tonight in here. Oh, I'm gonna tell you, it smells good. Oh, and it's looking good too. All right. Alright, I'm going to broil this just a couple of minutes here, and that's going to be ready to sit here and rest till we're ready to eat. I'm going to throw that corn in a pot. One thing I love about this home canned corn, which I guess it goes for any canned corn, you can make this as extravagant as you want, or better yet, as easy as you want. So I'm going to do here, corn's in the pot. It's already got the corn juice in it. I'm not going to add any more. Hit that with a little salt and pepper. I say a little. Put plenty of salt in it and a little pepper. this corn's already cooked. So throw in some butter. It ain't much corn, so that amount should, we'll see. We'll do that. And if you really want to fancy it up and make somebody really believe that you put some kind of extra special touch on this corn, put your little bacon grease. Just a little. Just a little. That broiled brown potatoes up nicely. We're going to take some of that butter. We're going to pour it over top of our meat there. I've got some leftover biscuits that we can have for bread, or we can easily toast some toast in the toaster if we want some. So some things that help me out here to throw this together so quickly was I chose something that needed to cook in the oven for the 20-25 minutes. That helps me out so much, and because it gives me time to run outside and do a couple things in between. The sweet roll was already thawed out. That helps a whole lot too. Go ahead and have you a game plan, set you a couple of things, give yourself a couple of options in the refrigerator, and that way you're not having to wait on something to thaw out. Have canned goods if you do that kind of thing. The canned food is a lifesaver, an absolute lifesaver. And throwing potatoes in with whatever you're cooking, you can't go wrong. You just throw you some potatoes in there. That's one side. Time management, like I said a while ago, time management is your best friend. If you're trying to cook this way and have a full-time work schedule on top of it, I've been there, y'all. I've been there, and it ain't easy. It's not for the faint of heart, and it is not easy. But I encourage you that you can do it. If that's what you want to do, then do it. You may have some late nights and some long evenings, but make plans. Plans help too. But I got all this thrown together in little or no time. It is hopefully edible and good. And well, that's the way sometimes I work better under pressure. I was always like that when I worked in the hospitals too. I always seemed to be so much more efficient if I was under pressure. Or any of y'all like that? Because, I don't know, I've always been like that in my life. I'm going to let this corn simmer while this is resting. I'm going to run out and feed my horses, and it's almost dark. So I guess we'll eat here in just a few minutes.
Oh yeah, that looks good. Alright. All the gravel just run out of the box blade, so at that point I'm done. And I've dressed up all I want to dress up out here. Now I can tell Jacob that he can run up down this road all he wants to. Pack this stuff in. I don't know how well it's going to pick up because it's dark under this shelter. But it's coming. My fuel leak is coming from right in here. It's leaking around all them little fittings. But I have a fix for this. You can see right there where it's been leaking out on the ground already from the other day. I'm gonna cut the fuel off. Now, hopefully I remember I cut it off. That's my problem. I'm not used to cutting fuel off on stuff. And I always forget I cut it off, and then I go run it, and then I run out of fuel, and I'm like, oh man, forgot to cut that fuel back on. We had another pretty sunset this evening too. It's beautiful. Even though it's cloudy, still a beautiful sunset. You just can't beat them fall sunsets. I mean, every single day, unless it's raining, we have a beautiful sunset. All right. Well, I've been toting a leaf blower all day long. I can't wait to get in here and eat supper and sit in my recliner and call it a day.
Come on, baby. Come on, Ty. Come on. Here comes yours. Here comes yours. Oh, I'll put pig in here and do it. Yeah, Phil. But I guess on the bright side, the good thing about this time of year is it ain't as late as it feels. It's only like a little bit after 5 and everything's done. Supper's done, feeding's done. Now I got the rest of the evening to clean house. That's not fun. Sounds like a terrible idea. All right, my dear. Don't look too bad to be just thrown together, does it?
No, it don't. I'm about to starve. Where'd that knife go?
I may or may not have put it in the...
Yes, I am about to starve. I cannot wait to go sit down in the recliner.
Well, the good thing is, it's not as late as it feels.
I know, it's only 5:30, and it's almost pitch black. I love this time of year, but sometimes it can be a little deceiving.
Thank you, dear.
What you want? You want more?
That's all right.
You can come back, I reckon.
I'll get some of them taters.
Hold your plate over here.
I should have cooked 2, I guess.
What, sweet rolls?
Mm-hmm.
That's alright, we just won't have none left.
It shriveled up more than I thought it would. That ain't too bad looking. I'm a little slim pickings on the meat, but other than that, I guess I'll learn my lesson eventually that I need to cook 2 of those.
Especially since all 4 of us eat it now.
I know.
But it's alright.
Yep. Well, I reckon I'm going to go holler for the youngins and we're going to sit down and eat some bite. Alright.
This is the best part of supper.
Time for dessert.
Let's back down.
I know. That won't be mine. I know you probably want yours bigger than that.
I might get a little bit bigger than that. I'm actually full from supper. You had plenty to eat. That's a pretty piece of cake.
Well, like a professional made it, no.
Professional did make it.
Well, y'all, we're going to sit down and enjoy our dessert. And, anyways, I guess that's going to about wrap up today's video. It's plumb dark outside now. And, we're going to go ahead and just call it evening, ain't we?
About that time.
But we hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Hope you might have learned a little something. Until we see y'all on the next one.
Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one.